I'm hoping we can put this into context for investors when it comes to Libra. My take is that Calibra is really the play because if Facebook can tell when you're opening your wallet, it doesn't have to have control over the currency to then make money because it can do that attribution thing and be able to tell how effective marketing is and become a big player there. Is that what's important here for Facebook?
No.
No.
That you threw a currency party and nobody showed up. I mean, I think you and I have talked about this. I said this is just not going to go down as easily as Facebook announced it. And this just shows you need those payments players involved in this. This is a global, one of the things, playing well with people is really important and being in partnership. And Facebook is used to a dominant role here. And in this case, with currency, with healthcare, anything that has to do with regulation, cars have to be done in a partnership with government, in partnership with other companies, in partnership with citizens and elected officials. And this is an important thing. Currency is a global, worldwide network of cooperation in a lot of ways. It is, in fact, that. And so you need these players to be in there, and this is not a good sign. Now, they can have their currency within the Facebook system, but it'll be separate and different from a wider change in the way you spend.
But is that the golden fleece that Facebook wants on the upside? Is that attribution to be able to be a key part of the digital transaction process?
It's very clear to everyone I've talked to. They want to be the key part. They want to be the central part. And the whole thing is designed to have a Facebook wallet that you spend everywhere, and the others just don't want to play. They don't want to. Why give away Facebook this also? And so, you know, there is a good question of whether there should be a global currency and everything else like that. I know it scares some people. But the question is, should Facebook be running it? And even though they sort of did all this, the whole messaging when it started off was we're in a global group of partnership. And now they just aren't. I mean, even though they have Uber, why wouldn't Uber participate? Why wouldn't, you know, others, commerce people participate in it? But it's not just a short setback, as David Marcus, who's a very sharp guy, said.
Well, now we know why they were not more vocal in their support. We kept saying, why aren't they coming out with equally ambitious and enthusiastic messaging? But then why ever partner at all? Well, I'm not sure I understand why they were Republican.
Because of all the pressure on them from a regulatory point of view. I mean, they want to show that they're part of a greater group. But I mean, when it was announced, I think I said, it's the Facebook currency, right? It's the Facebook currency. And that's the question is, do we want to do this? And there's lots of players in this. There could be an Amazon currency, you know, a Google currency. There's all kinds of players here. But in general, whoever can bring allies together, which I think is a very good, at least in this space, it's critically important. You have to have that cooperation. And, you know, Mnuchin should be saying the things he's saying. We're wary. So should all the financial regulators around the globe. And I know Mark will be in Washington, I think it's next week, because I'm going to go see him at some event where he's talking about the First Amendment. So I think a lot of these things are going to run into the buzzsaw of regulation everywhere they go. You know, as Steve Case called it, it's the third wave of internet, and you really have to have partnership.
Yeah, and we're getting the news right now as we're having this conversation that Booking Holdings is also pulling out of this Libra coalition as well. I just wonder, you mentioned Amazon, and I wonder how many other big tech companies are sitting back watching all of this play out with Facebook to sort of map out their own game plan to avoid similar issues.
I don't know if they would have this much of an ambition to do currency like this. I mean, that's essentially what it is. I mean, I think Amazon works very well with all the other payment processors, and Facebook has a payment processor that's very popular, PayPal, and so it's just a question of who wants to lead this and who should lead this, and that's a big question. Why would you trust any private company to run something like this? This has been, you know, my issue with it since the beginning.